I'm still in Match Job. Welcome to the
Oh
lobby.
wow. Okay.
March Madness edition. We have a very special guest. All everything. Duke Star Chelsea Gray.
She's
Welcome.
back.
Welcome back to the lobby.
Chelsea, welcome.
I'm back. I'm back.
She's back. All right, Chelsea. We'll get right into it. Let's talk your March Madness experience. I actually forgot about your injury that kept you out. We don't gotta bring up old stuff, but I mean, two
Man,
Elite Eights that you actually were able to compete in. What do you remember most from your March Madness experience? What were some of the those big moments that you'll always carry forward and think about?
yeah. I mean, I was cut short my junior and senior. I'm a firm believer. I'm gonna say this to the end is that if I wasn't hurt my junior year, we were going to the Final Four. We were just playing so well, right? But my favorite experiences, I would say, obviously, were my freshman and sophomore year playing. My freshman year, it was like my first experience. Like you're just like running with a deer with your head cut off, like just looking and trying to figure out like what is going on. We played two home games and they were great games. I just love the vibe and like everybody. The Cameron was packed. It just felt great. And then the second year, my sophomore year, we made it to the Sweet 16 and then Elite 8, and it was in Fresno, California. And so all of my family just showed up and showed out. Like I didn't even have enough tickets for any of them. They just bought a bunch. We played St. John's and then we lost to Stanford to go to the Final Four. But it was a great experience just having everybody there and seeing me in the Duke uniform. Like getting all the way to North Carolina from California was a task. So having everybody there was just, it was a great experience for me.
Okay, who was on that Stanford team? What happened? It
NECA,
was it was
Shanae,
a NECA
need I
year.
say more?
It was a NECA
They were
year,
just a
yeah.
powerhouse. Oh,
Who was on your squad your junior year?
my junior year. Okay, so it was me, Rashay Jackson at the time. She's not Rashay Hood. Trisha Liston, Elizabeth Williams. I'm trying to think. Haley Peters, Chloe Wells, Alexis. Was Alexis there yet? Nah, I don't think Alexis Jones is there. But we had like veterans. Like it was five of us. Like it was five of us in the playoffs, right? So like we had that veteran experience, and we were trying to get to the Final Four.
Yeah, I remember that year. I remember watching you play at Duke. I'm like, dang, she's nice. Like that was, I think, three or 4 years after I graduated. And we were still in the ACC, so it was like watching
Yeah,
AT and those guys match up against you all. Like that was always a big
yeah.
game. Um, some advice, like so Duke back in the tournament, like Kara's got you guys back to I don't want to say respectable, but to where you think Duke women's basketball, like I think about it all.
Dang.
No, I didn't mean it like that. That's why I
See
corrected
how she
myself.
slid that in there?
But no, for me, like Duke women's basketball was always like that pinnacle. Like it was Tennessee, it was Duke, it was UConn. Like those were always the teams that you knew were always going to be at a high level. They were always tournament bound, and like that's where everybody had aspirations to go. So I mean, there was a little downside. Most teams have that. But now with Kara, she's gotten you guys back to the tournament. You know, competed at such a high level. What should the mindset be for them going in? Like how far do you see them going?
I'm just gonna say enjoy the experience, like live in the moment. They have a lot of seniors, they had transfers, it's amazing like how a group of women can come together and like they haven't spent their whole time together in college and they just gel, right? They've gotten things done. They played well in the regular season. Their time was cut short in the ACC tournament, but they put themselves in position to be in the tournament. And I think Kara has done that with like her mindset, the way she talks to her players, the way her players trust her, the communications that I see during the game. So I would just say like enjoy the moment and love the experience.
Yeah, I think that what you said is such a huge thing, and we both could probably attest to that. Is when you're in the moment, it's hard to truly understand what you are accomplishing. Just
Yeah,
making it to the tournament is a huge accomplishment, and then like as far as like all the teams we played on and having it was like Final Four or bust for the teams that we were always on. It's hard. It's
yeah,
easy to lose sight of like being removed from it, and now especially being retired and talking to people. They're like you won a national championship. You went to the NCAA tournament. Like I don't think when you're in it, you don't
yeah,
realize that we're still a very small pool of women that get to experience that. and when you think of all the teams that they are in the NCAA. So I think that like great advice is like enjoy the moment, try to live in the moment as best as possible.
You don't get it back. Like me being injured and seeing and being on the sidelines, like understanding my senior year that I'll never get this experience back again. That was the hardest thing. And so now, like a lot of these seniors are able to get to the tournament. Like you can't take it for granted. Enjoy the experience, enjoy being with each other, and knowing that you only got 2 days to prepare, but you got to go here. You're thinking, what region? Like just stay in the moment and enjoy that time and go game by game. It's literally game by game.
And I think like when I was, prepping to chat with you and looking up your tournament stuff, I totally forgot about your injury in that like look at where you are now. So like how did you like it's hard to overcome an injury, especially the injury you had and ACC player of the year, like having all these expectations, you being the player that you are, and then missing your senior year and then not playing your rookie
Yeah.
season. Like how did you get your mindset to where it is now to overcome that and now you're all everything?
I would say like I had put in the work during the season and before I got injured and people were seeing like the way I would play, the way I played the right way. And I wanted the best for the next person and the next player. And sometimes you can't like you can't teach that, right? People need those locker room people. I knew what I was capable of personally, but I had to take care of my body. And so there was kind of like this switch after my senior year. And I was like, I got to get my body right. I got to go to the best person, be in the best area. So I got PT in Beverly Hills. Fabrice, he's still my guy to this day. Like he comes to Vegas. I've seen him in LA. I go to him if I'm injured or anything like that. Like I need a tune up. I need him to crack something. Like he does everything. So it's really about taking care of your body. I look back now, like they have all the resources. Like there's a bunch of resources now. And back when I was in college, it's not that long ago, but I didn't have all those resources. They would slap some ice on it. I'm like, everybody got a Normatec now. Like, where was my Normatec when I was in college chilling in my dorm room? Right? So it's like those little things like you got to take advantage of. And so there was kind of this moment where it's like it's either you continue playing or you find out like try to find another source of income because I was just planning to be drafted and then I had to sit out like during that time period I was training kids to find money. I enjoyed it, but I needed to, kind of make a living that way. And I just was grinding and just staying the course and learning from the people around me as well.
No, I mean that's so important. It's such like a great testimony to like who you are and to be able to overcome that. And I hope any college or younger player hearing that understands, like you said, how lucky they are. But we didn't have
Yeah.
Normatex. I think game readies were just becoming a
Yeah.
thing. It was, our recovery was ice and massages and cold hot tub contrast. Now there's literally endless resources, but yeah, it's it's
Mhm.
crazy.
Do you have any draft advice for players who obviously you were injured, so you missed a bunch of time, and I'm sure you're getting a ton of people in your ear around draft time on what to do and what to say and how to act. Do you have any advice for those players? They're obviously, I mean, we even talked about Owusu, who's going to enter the draft, who didn't get to really show a lot this year for her senior year. Do you have any advice for those players?
It's kind of the same with the tournament, like enjoying that moment. Like I look back at my pictures, and first of all, I was like, maybe I could have changed up what I wore at that time. But like you enjoy the moment. I'm just like, maybe my hair could have been a little different, Um, but besides that, like you enjoy it. It's a moment that like the tournament you can't get back. Like you could probably get another feeling of like trying to get a championship or trying to win this, but like you're only drafted one time. Like there's only one moment. And I would say enjoy it. Don't worry about the interviews and what you're gonna say, what you're not gonna say. You might cry, you might laugh. You just let the emotions kind of take over. And then after you're drafted, that's like when the work really begins. Like you got to come in a training camp ready. Like there's no okay, we're gonna walk and lead into this. There's been the top draft picks that didn't make a team. So like it's slim pickings when it gets to that training camp. So you enjoy that moment, but you realize like how fortunate to be in that position, and you get ready. You get ready.
you really only have like a little bit of time to enjoy that moment.
Yeah,
That's the thing that always kills me every single year.
It's like
you
you gotta be you drafted, all right, your bags are packed, you good? Okay, let's go. Let's hit
That's it. This time next month, players playing in the tournament will be on WNBA teams.
Yeah.
That's it.
Crazy.
That thing blows my mind.
It's crazy. Should we go over our brackets?
I want to hear brackets.
Yeah, all right, Chelsea, let's do it. I gotta know. First, let's start with you. You got some crazy upsets in your bracket? I need to pull mine up.
Yeah, Chelsea, where did you struggle? Where did you pick some crazy stuff?
Yeah, I got a few upsets. First of all, I got UNLV making out the first round, beating Michigan.
I love that.
I got a little upset on in that area.
Okay,
I also have
Matt and I
Princeton
too.
beating
We
NC State.
have that.
I have Princeton beating NC State.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got Princeton beating NC State. There's not really like because the rivalry, I just like Princeton, their offense and everything. Let me think here. I also have Iowa State beating Tennessee. Candace might be mad at me, but I do have that.
You hear that, CP3? Do you? Wow.
I
okay.
do have that happening. And I know this is unpopular opinion, and maybe because I'm biased, I have Duke beating Iowa.
Ooh.
I know it's spicy. It's spicy up in here, but yeah, I got Duke beating Iowa. I also am curious about Notre Dame. Like if Olivia Miles is not right, like I got Creighton beating Notre Dame. It's Olivia Miles is a big one for me. Like she holds it all together. Sonia Citron is doing her thing, but Olivia Miles is a big one for me. What y'all got? I don't want to say everything yet.
No, I'm with you on that. We couldn't decide, but that Notre Dame Creighton, because so much is up in the air with Olivia Miles. I guess I'll start with, and Chelsea, don't hold this against me. I hope it doesn't affect our relationship. But I got MTSU beating Duke in the second round.
Her face.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The disgust.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's all I can say.
Man,
don't hold it against me.
Wow.
Wait. There's a chance
I got Colorado beating MTSU. So.
Oh well, yeah. She really doesn't believe in that.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Yeah. Well, you have your chance at revenge, Chelsea. Where we have to know where you have Maryland going.
I actually got them going pretty far. I got them going up to South Carolina, though.
Oh,
okay.
South Carolina.
We're there.
It's pretty much lights out once you hit South Carolina, so I'm not offended by that.
It's Maryland versus Creighton, and then Maryland beating Creighton.
I'm with that. I think that's what we have too. I mean, we're not that crazy. We're
yeah,
not
we had Notre Dame, but
Notre Dame. I had Creighton.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you did have. And then, I mean, Matt and I both had UNLV beating Michigan. I'm trying to think what else spicy I had.
We had Tennessee.
Yeah, we have Tennessee making a run.
Yeah, Chelsea, have you watched any of Tennessee? That we keep talking about them just because we like both Rakia Jackson and Jordan Horston as like two players who we think could be first round picks. We're like, they have the talent. This seems like the time.
They do have the talent. I'm worried about that tournament getting to them though. I'm worried. I got Iowa State beating Tennessee. So
Ashley Jones believer.
I got Iowa State going up against Virginia Tech, but Virginia Tech keep going.
Okay.
That upper region, what y'all got? Indiana, Utah, like what's happening?
That's your region that you said you're stressed about.
I think that's the toughest region in my opinion because it's a bunch of teams that just this season were so up and down. It's like, okay, Indy's the number 1 seed, but they were like up and down. They lost in the conference tournament. Utah, I like looked at their schedule and record. I'm like, they didn't really play anybody. Then LSU, 2 losses, but they haven't. So anyway, there's just a whole bunch of confusion. So, I mean, and we love Washington State for no other reason than just pure vibes. We just
amazing energy.
So, I have Washington State upsetting Villanova in the second round. And then I have Washington State beating Indiana in the Sweet 16. And then I have,
thank you. I don't have that.
Then I have LSU beating Utah in the Sweet 16. I have my Elite 8 matchup is Washington State LSU.
I got Villanova beating Indiana.
I think Sweet 16. Yeah, I either Villanova, Washington State, who makes out that game. I don't have Indiana getting past Sweet 16 either way.
I have Indiana in my Final Four. I have my Indiana in my championship game, but okay.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Exactly.
Who's your Final Four? Final Four?
All right, I'll go first. My Final Four, I've got South Carolina was obvious. I have Iowa beating Stanford. I have Indiana beating Utah to get to the Final Four, and I've got UConn in the Final Four as well. Those are my 4.
Ooh, Marissa, what you got for us?
I have South Carolina, Stanford, LSU, UConn. And then I have South Carolina, UConn in the championship.
Unpopular opinion here. So,
However,
I got I got South Carolina beating Maryland to go to the Final Four. I got Stanford beating my Duke Blue Devils and going to the Final Four. I got LSU beating Villanova to go to the Final Four. And then I got Virginia Tech beating UConn to go to the Final Four.
you've got 10 in the Final Four.
I got Virginia Tech versus South Carolina in the finals.
Okay. So you said South Carolina, Stanford, LSU, Tech?
Yeah, South Carolina, LSU, Stanford, V-Tech.
Okay.
I think that's the first Virginia Tech
I really
in the
like the
Final Four.
Liz Kitley, Georgia Amore. Like, Georgia Amore, did you see her in the ACC tournament?
She's
she
nice.
She was nice with it. But they also got some, like, good players, like, around them. That's not, like, the loudest type of game. But I like their team.
So who's your championship?
South Carolina, Virginia Tech, and South Carolina taking it all. Go Dawn.
I mean, Virginia Tech is so well coached. Like, Kenny Brooks is such a good coach. I just don't know if they've been battle tested enough. But like I was telling Matt, and like I need you to come back to me on this. But isn't so much in the tournament, in your opinion, like the stars have to be aligned. It's not just about who's the better team.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have the perfect shooting night, the perfect game plan, and like the matchup too. So like it's so much.
Yeah, you don't get a game back.
Yeah,
not a series.
So much is about that, but
I do think they played really well in the ACC tournament, and hopefully that carries them on. Like, they played really well.
I was going to ask
all the way around.
I was going to ask how much stock you put into that, Chelsea. Like, when you're filling out your bracket, are you looking at teams that really cruised in their conference tournament?
No, not really cruise. I like the way they're like gelling together in this moment, and I feel like you got to be super tight to make a championship run, and on all levels, like WNBA, college. Like, you got to be, when you get on that hardwood, like, you got to be super tight. I forgot this upset. I have UNC beating Ohio State.
I have that one too.
I think I have that. Yeah, we both have that. Yeah,
we're not believers. In Ohio
we're not believers in Ohio State at all.
UNC versus UConn, but it's also like, is Azzi Fudd? Is she like, how is she feeling?
Questions.
Yeah, there's a lot up in the air.
So
I think this is one of, in recent memory of mine, most open field for the tournament outside of South Carolina. Like, anybody can honestly make it to the Final Four.
Those 1 seeds were all up in the air until the last week.
Yeah.
Except South Carolina.
Yeah.
We'll see who does the best with their bracket. Chelsea, we appreciate you. EuroLeague Final Four, hopefully bound.
Man, I hope so. I haven't been there yet, so that's definitely one of my goals.
Gotta add that to your long resume too. Well, appreciate you.
Thanks, Chelsea.
Go
Thank
Duke.
you so much. Thanks for having me.
Go Duke.
Man.